Yeah, shall we pray? Father, we thank you for this great opportunity we have again in your presence. Thank you for the burden bearer behind this great vision, finding time to put us together as arrowhead, someone to take the blueprint of your will and mandate for humanity and all that it entails for us to fulfill our destiny. Thank you for all the people that made it for this meeting tonight. And I submit myself to the leading of the Holy Spirit. I ask that the words of my mouth, the meditation tonight, will be acceptable before you. In Jesus' mighty name, we have prayed. Amen. Thank you
Amen.
very much. And I want to thank God for this opportunity and also express my gratitude to all the burden bearers, those who put this gathering together. I'm not sure I even know the voice, that spoke so well, but I can see that it must be a familiar uh, person who we have worked together over time. So I'm grateful and I'm trusting God that we'll lay a good foundation tonight and then capital tomorrow by God's grace. So I've been asked to speak on the young man and his walk. The young man and his walk. So what I'll be sharing tonight will be all I have learned over time and my little experience, how I have navigated life up until now. I also thank God for uh, the fathers that God sent to us while we are also trying to, find our path. I've also received instruction as a young man and not only receive instruction, I've also put it to practice. And today I can speak not from an account of theory. I'll tell you exactly uh, how I have internalized receive instruction when I was in this age bracket myself, and of course still evolving because the journey is still far. So, as a foundation or introduction, what is work? What is work? Work is what is one word that we use almost all the time.
Sorry about that. My dad is in the hospital, so I got a call from there. I needed to respond.
Are we together?
Fantastic. So I said that human memory is the part of your brain that helps you take in information, store it, and
Ife Dotun Bamishe, can you mute your speaker, your mic? All right. Yeah, thank you. So, like I said, we're looking at work, the young man and his work. The young man. Um, and I want to start by saying there are phases of life. We all started as a child. At that point, we just take instruction directly from our parents, and we were evolving over time. And then there's an afternoon time where we lay foundation of what the evening time will look like, which is this particular time and age bracket uh, that we're in, the young people. This is a time where decisions are made about career, marriage, relationship. This is a time, finance. It's just a time that we're trying to find ourselves, our core. And if you observe that it is this time that we call the productive year. I was talking to a friend of mine who had put in his time, almost 15 years, doing a particular thing. And he was sharing with me that it appears as though it's impressed in his heart that God wanted him to go in a particular direction. And he was communicating. This is a man of about 45 years now. And he was communicating the urgency why you need to, take that decision, because that's what we call the productive life, the productive age. There's a time that no matter how uh, passionate or how energetic you may be, you may have to rely on other people, to fulfill that dream. You may not have energy, strength. You may have the vision, but not the body uh, to help you, run with that same vision. And so this young just signal a time, a fruitful age, a productive time. And that's exactly the time that we're in at this point. Now, coming to work, I find out that work, people define work. Maybe I should just even hear maybe one or two comment. Can anyone just tell me what is work? What do you understand by work? What define work? I mean, to you. I mean, this is not the first time we're hearing work. Probably many of us may have engaged in one or two things that we consider as work. So, what is the concept of work? I'd like to just gain one or two feedback from my audience tonight. Yes. Does anyone want to just tell me? Maybe I can call. Let me look at the lists we have. Just share your own thoughts in 1 seconds about work to you. Let me go for Adeshina. Ayokunle. Adeshina Ayokunle. Bro, what's your own concept about work just in 30 seconds? Can you unmute Adeshina Ayokunle? Okay, let me go to Emmanuel Adewi. Bro, Emmanuel Adewi, can you tell me what's your own understanding about work, please? Yeah,
All right, sir. Good evening, sir.
you're welcome.
All
Yes, go
right, thank
ahead.
you very much. In my own understanding, I would define work as a an assigned task given to someone to be performed. Also, work can be someone's occupation, maybe someone's job. So that's my own definition, sir.
Thank you very much. Yes, so let me take one more thought. Chuku Nonso Okongu. I hope I pronounced it well. Can you share your thoughts about work, bro Chuku? So from what they, yeah, go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everybody.
Yes.
Work comes across as different things, but I think I'll just put it as work is
an understanding of what has been committed into our hands that we have a responsibility to do.
Okay, that's very good, and thank you very much. You just define what work is, but let's look at the key element of your divination. From the two brothers, it's clear that it's an assigned task. The question is, who assigned it to you? Who assigned, oh young man, this task that you're doing, this ambition that you are building, this this hope and aspiration, this innovation, this solution, this whatever the concept of work is, from how it has been defined by our two gentle brothers, we all agree that work as a task is assigned. That's the very first thing I want you to hold on to. Uh, and you know that in the society where we live, um, I would look at it from two perspectives, but I want to lay, in fact, if all I'm able to build upon tonight is that work is a sign. Work is a sign. Work is a sign. And let's see who assign work for an individual. Most importantly, as a young man. Work is a sign. And I want you to read Genesis chapter 2, verse 15, preferably NIV. Work is a sign. That's the first point. And we want to trace who assigned this work, who assigned this work to an individual. If it's a task to be completed, it must have been, portioned out or ironed out by an individual. Please, someone should read that Genesis chapter 2, verse 15. It's good to first establish who assigned the task, and then we'll look at it from the employment perspective, whatever it is that that we want to consider moving forward. Yes, who is reading for us? Genesis chapter 2, verse 15. Genesis 2:15.
Genesis 2,
Genesis.
verse 15,
Yes, NIV.
NIV.
Yes, please.
The Lord took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to walk it and take care of it.
Okay, so from this part, who assigned this work to the man at Eden? God. Do we agree? So the first point is that, sir, please, I want you to know that God puts men in work. And I wish, in fact, I was lucky to understand it this way. And when my brother was sharing, when I used to tell them, or how I evolve, depending on when you give your life to Christ, the earlier the better, and the better for you to start living a life with meaning and build on it for the rest of your life. The very first point I want to make tonight is that, hey, is God that assigned work to all of us. Forget about whether you're an engineer. Those are just training. Uh, I'm a graphic designer. I read medicine. Me, I'm into software engineering. I don't see that as profession. I see it more like a tool, like training, and they are not the end in itself. These are things that just help you, to achieve the end. But many people have not actually gotten their portion in life. So God assign task. God assign work. God give men task for him to do. And it find expression whether in your circular work, whether you are in ministry, whatever you do. I want you to have this at the back of your mind and have that experience or encounter to receive your own portion of work before you start running here and there. And I'll break it down for you in a simple way. I don't want you to get confused. So God assigned task. That's something we saw it in this Genesis chapter 2, verse 15. God put Adam in a garden and asked him to what? To walk that garden, to tend it. In Matthew chapter 1, verse 21, when we're learning about the account of the birth of Jesus, I want somebody to read that place as well. Sorry, we have 1 hour. And I would like to lay some biblical foundation and then I'll build on it from there. I want someone to read Matthew 1:21. You can read whether King James or anyone from that. The point we're pursuing tonight is that God assigned work, not the company you later go to submit your CV. No, before you get to that, there is this one that you must get, even as your life is evolving over time. Yes, Matthew 1:21, please. Matthew 1:21.
Matthew 1 verse 21.
Yes, sir.
She will give birth to a son,
She will give birth to a son. Yes.
and you are to give him the name Jesus,
Hey, call his
because
name Jesus. So
Jesus,
because yes,
he will save his people from their sins.
because this one is not just coming. This one will save his people from their sin. If you and I would talk, if you have had experience about the saving grace of Jesus, how will you describe Jesus? You will say, is my Lord, Abi, and personal Savior. Imagine before Christ was born, what he's coming to do was already defined and even hand over to our parent, to his parent, rather. He says, you will give birth to a son. His name will be Jesus. For he shall save his people from their sin. So God assigned task. God assigned task. The question I'm asking tonight over your life is, hey, what will you save your world from? Why are you here? Why now? You've been given. Your name is Chinozo. I'm seeing Adebayo here. I'm seeing Abiola. I'm seeing Ayodele. I'm seeing Emmanuel. I'm saying, hey, excuse me, sir. You will give birth to a son. His name is Ifedotun Bameshe. Ifedotun Bameshe. What will you save your world from? What is this task that is assigned to you? How has God defined that you tend a particular portion of this global garden? What is it that He has handed over to you? What is it that if you don't rise up and grow up to this responsibility, it will be left undone? Hey, the key point I want to make tonight is that God assign what? Assign task to people. We saw it in Adam. The burden, the clear statement about the coming, what Jesus is coming to do in the world was clearly stated even before he was born. And so, the disposition I want you to take tonight, before we start talking about competence and all of that, the very first thing, and that was what I did when my brother, gave that testimony. Now, I gave my life to Christ just as I was about entering the university. And when I finished my own degree, as somebody that is very dynamic, as you see me like this, whatever I put my mind into, I strongly believe that I will succeed in it. This belief has just been with me. So I know that I can do so many things. I'm a young boy early that discovered that I have a lot of talent. And I have this strong belief that if I just let me put my mind there, if I decide to go into tailoring as what I want to be doing to earn money, I will be a very good tailor, sir. If it is carpentry I want to go into, I know that I will not be an average one there. I was even born into a family that that is into film making. All my siblings are into Nollywood. So for me, it's not about how to what to do to feed my family. No, that can never be a problem. The worst scenario is that I would have been maybe in Nollywood by now. I would be anywhere. I'm this person as a young person that know that no, when it is what to do to eat food, though. No, I won't go begging, whether I am here or there. So I already know that, hey, I can be anything and still be earning some naira and kobo and still be feeling okay as though you are doing well. Because many of us, our concept about work is defined by income, by prestige of work. You tend to move towards some profession that has prestige. So when they see you, they say, that's doctor. So you want to come and you want people to respect it. Why we're growing up, it's just like there are just three professions. Is either you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, or you are an engineer. Nobody say you will grow up to be a teacher or pastor. No, maybe now some people, it's this time that I'm seeing people say they want to be a pastor. Maybe they see some that are now flying private jets around and they feel like, oh, it's like I can be like Daddy Adeboye. It's not the calling they're actually looking for. They see Daddy Adeboye, they see all these our great men of God. They see that they now gather crowd. Though. Go and ask them when they started in the 80s, when God called them into this kind of work, whether anybody want to follow them, or I've never seen anyone that desire or have this ambition to become a pastor, a teacher, a organizer, or whatever you do for that thing. So, but beyond prestige, beyond income, this thing that tend to define the work as is being pronounced out there, I want you to know that work must carry a meaning from the task. It's an assignment, a life assignment that is handed over to us. And that's why we don't retire from our work until the end of our life. Come to think about it, most of this employment that we call work is just for a particular time. If you enter any profession now, maybe you're a doctor, they employ you in teaching hospital, you can't be there for a while. I mean, for forever. You can't be there. They give you a particular time where you should do whatever you can do. And that's more about your your fruitful days, your youth days. You enter at the age of 25, you retire at the age of 60. You have spent 35. At that 60, they say, well, we have used the prime of your life to work in this, to contribute to this area. And at this time, we feel you have done enough. Let's give another person opportunity. So you will retire. And that's why many people retire. Immediately they retire, they deteriorate, their heads deteriorated. They seems to lose touch, of life. They stop struggling. Being their best, and they just skip away. But the work, the task, the assignment that God hand over to us is something that you will do till end of time. And you need to be able to trace it, whether you find yourself in public assignment, whether you find yourself in private assignment, whatever it is that you do in exchange of your time or talent for food, you must know primarily that God was assigned work. God is primarily our employer. So work is service in my own definition. Work is service, is an assignment. And in it is always focused towards human development. Work as a service, the end goal is about human what? Human development, human improvement in its form. And at the end of it, your employer must be glorified. Let me recap it. The first point, please let me know when I should stop, because I don't even know when I started. I want to spend that exact 1 hour, and then we'll build up on this thing. So the very first point is that God assigned work to an individual. And honestly, if you have not prayed this prayer, I want you to pray one prayer tonight to say, Lord, what will you have me do? What will you have me do? What is it about my life? How will I navigate this life? How will I say that I have finished my work, have finished my race? There's this sense of satisfaction when you know you are doing the assignment that God has handed over to you, and you know the sense of fulfillment at the end. It's not that you build house, you buy car, you make name for yourself. No, 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 no. It's not that you were able to raise kids and send children to abroad. No, 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 sir. At the end of life, you should be able to look back and say, oh boy, I have finished my race. Hey, see the portion that he assigned to me, and see how I have lived and how I am living and I'm walking through it. So please and please, it is expected for you to pray. I pray. When I finished my degree, I took my certificate, just like the brother said. I took my certificate to chapel in Unilori that time. And I was crying to God. I said, God, this is a tool. The degree for me is a tool. See, today I'm picking another tool because I want to fulfill my task, my life assignment. I'm in public service, but I never lose sight of my assignment. Even where I am exchanging my time for naira and kobo, I always see it. In fact, I run with it. That thing gives me stability in my workplace. When they talk about this, and that, that thing helped me to know when to move, when to leave. I'm currently pursuing a PhD in cancer biology and therapeutics. I took a break from my public health work. Now I am here. And I will be out of here next year when I am done. All of this is interpreting a script that I got right there after the uni when I'm asking, when I ask God, rather, what will you have me? What will you have me do? So I want you to know that work is assigned by God. And you see, you may say, what does this thing mean? I'm an engineer. All I do or I exchange for, as an engineer, I exchange my time to construct and get naira and kobo. There will be a time you can't do that thing again. But even while you are there, even if you are in a public space doing whatever you are doing, we will get to that point and all that it entailed for you to represent Christ in that particular space. But I'm not, maybe I'll talk about the being diligent and all of that tomorrow. But the real foundation is that I hope that you have a direction for your life on how you should spend your time, on the people that you are sent to bring development, to bring transformation, to rewrite the story of development, to bring a change, to bring a lasting impact. I hope as young men in this forum that we all will have a direction for our lives. I want somebody to read Colossians chapter 3, verse 23 and 24. Colossians chapter 3, verse 23 and 24. Please, someone should read that to us. Anyone? And then
Colossians
someone,
chapter 3,
yes, please.
Colossians chapter 3, verse 23 and 24 says that, and whatsoever ye do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not unto men,
Oh,
knowing
hold
that
on there. Hold on, sir. Did you see the first phrase there? It said, what?
whoever
Whatsoever. Whatsoever you do it heartily as unto who, sir? As unto the Lord, and not as what?
unto men.
As unto men. Now, if you come to the heartly engagement, you are loyal to your employer now. Some of you think your earthly employer, those construction people, your manager is the one you are working for. But when they meet with you, said, I'm a staff of GTB, but I work for GTB. And for you, whatever the philosophy and arrangement of what have you in that organization. So you are, when you see your general manager or your employer, I mean, the people you submitted your CV to, and they say, okay, now come, you will be spending 9 to 5 in this place and we'll be paying you 500,000. You thought that you are working for the years, you are exchanging your time for money in that space. But the attitude, the manner, the way to which you will walk to achieve the end goal in that place, you must also know that honestly, the real employer is who, sir? Is the Lord. But it will be difficult to marry you together if the foundation is already faulty. And that's why many of us are jumping from one employment to the other. We're even more confused about who our real employer actually is. I will talk about the issue of circular work tomorrow, but the picture I'm painting tonight is that there's only one thing I want you to go from here to, is that your real employer is actually who? Is actually God. And for whatever it is that you find yourself do, or in places so many tasks will be assigned to you by your superior, by this, that you can be called upon for any other thing. There's a way to do it. There's an attitude to put on a task. But the very fundamental thing I want everybody to know tonight is that we are all working for the Creator. Do it as unto the Lord, who is your employer. So, one of the things that you need to do as a young man for you to have a sense of direction, stability, quick rise in any way that you are exchanging your time for an income is for you to know your primary assignment. And that's why many people change job because of the peck in maybe salary. Not everybody dance to that tone, no, my brother, especially for people who have actually gotten the direction to which God wanted them to go in life. Some of you that are on this call, it's easy for you to drop what you are doing now. Assuming that they said there's a job in Abuja. I don't know where all of you are at the moment, or probably I'm sure many of you are doing one thing or the other. You are in one profession. There's a place you are exchanging your time for money at this current time. Assuming that there's a call tonight after this thing, and I say, oh, sorry, they are recruiting in Abuja, and there's this thing that they are paying 2 million every month. Maybe many of you will drop what you're doing now, and you say, nah, Abuja is that place is better. How do you think? Because there's an increase, a rise in pay or something that look like, and that's where all of us want to be. It's now money that gives direction and purpose of what we need to do and how we need to move. But that shouldn't be. I've seen people that decided to stay on in their place of assignment. And that is where their fulfillment lies, regardless of the remuneration. They are not defined by cash and carry thing that, make us to do anything just for the money. So your work should not be defined by money, by prestige. Your work sense must be defined by meaning. Most importantly, how God wanted you to move in life. So, as a young graduate, I'll tell you my story. Please let me know when I should stop. You can drop it on my chat so I can walk towards that time, because I just need to lay this foundation tonight. So, I was born into a place where I have many opportunities. I can do anything. I can pick up anything. Tomorrow, I will be eating fine. I won't go hungry. But I wanted to have a sense of purpose. I wanted to have a sense of direction. I know that it is in it that my joy, my fulfillment, and my stability lie. It may not be paying in cash and dollar and all of that, but I know at the end of it, I will be able to say that, hey, I have finished my task. Imagine Jesus at the age of 33. He was done with his assignment. He came, finished his task, and left. Today, we never talk that he died young. That's why the father he died at the age of 33. The most important thing is that he fulfilled his life assignment within that short period of time. So your task is not about the number of years. Some of you don't even have that luxury of time. But you must not waste this existence, because there is something that God wanted you to do in this life. And I want you to approach it with prayer. Jeremiah 33 said, call upon me and I will show you. God wanted you to reach out. to ask for the manual, to ask for your own portion. Lord, what will you have me do in this life? I prayed that prayer and he gave me Isaiah 58, verse 12. I prayed that prayer, my brother. I prayed that prayer, my brother. I prayed that prayer very well. And God gave me Isaiah 58, verse 12. That place says, and the people that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places. I said, God, what's this? He said, thou will raise up foundation of many generations, and you shall be called the repairer of the bridge, the restorer of the path to dwell in. That's my own life task, brethren. And honestly, I have been interpreting this one verse. I have been living this one verse. I'm enjoying my life. I'm the most happiest. I don't know whether I'm the most happiest person in life, but I am happy. I don't get shishi, no money, but honestly, sir, every day I wake up, I sleep well. I am happy. This life get meaning for me. I have it's like I have it in my hand. It's like I'm in charge of life. And all this is because I'm interpreting one particular scripture for myself. My first degree was in physiology. In fact, that time I was asking God, which one is the people that shall be of thee shall build old way? Thou will raise up, build old ways. Am I an engineer? I was asking God, what will you have me do? And he's telling me that the people that shall, in fact, it's that day that I know that I will be a people person. It's like I say, okay, Gabriel, it's like you will be surrounded by people. Before now, I used to like to day my day. I don't usually interact at all. But I know that my life assignment will require that what people are around me. So I need to adjust. He said, you will raise up foundation of many generations. I said, God, I know that a generation is 30 years. If it's two, that will be 60 years. If it's three, you can't tell me many. Three is not many. You can say there are three oranges in the basket. In fact, the number become many, let's say from four. There are many oranges. Before you say there are many oranges in that basket, it cannot be one, two, neither three. I can say like four. And that's why I used to, if you are close to me, those that are close to me, I would tell them that it's like I would die 118. There's not going, I'm not sure I'm going to die young. I'm in my 40s now, but I know, I used to tell that I said it's like I would die around 118, that kind of 120. If you ask me where did I get that kind of knowledge, I coin it out from thou will raise up many generations. I say if generation is 30, many will be like from four. So this man is going that far. And no matter how it looks like something is creeping in, I can't even remember the last time I prayed for long life. It's like that thing, because that's when I will only go when I finish my task. I will only go when my assignment is done, sir. I started looking at it, having some assurance, having a sense of direction, and I can tell you stories. Each time I need to make a decision, I will go back to this place. Each time options are presented to me, I will go back to this passage. Each time I need to make a very concrete thing. I will, in fact, when I was wooing, I don't know, some of you, I don't know if you are married or you are about to, I don't know what you are telling the lady that you wanted to marry, that you call the toasts. Because in my own case, part of the things I told my wife is that, hey, see, this is what God has called me to do. Would you like to pray if you will come along? This is the assignment of God over my life. This is the direction that I want. Would you like to pray? So when you are saying, yeah, you want to marry a woman, what is that thing that you presented to that woman, and you are asking him to come along in that direction? God assigned a task. That's the foundation we're building tonight. And it is very expedient of you, if you have not yet, to spend time before you start tying up ties and suit here and there, wasting your life chasing money, scoreboard. You will have that money. At the end, you will be as useless as anything. Life will not have it. Money doesn't give happiness. So, my brother, no, sir. No, it doesn't. It is this fulfillment of your life purpose that you will smile at and say, no, after all, I've not wasted this time. All of this opportunity is channeled towards one thing. The question tonight is, what is it? Which portion of this garden has God delivered to you as a young man? Work is about meaning, it's about purpose. You must be able to take delivery of your direction in life. This will give you stability. It will help your decision making. It will give you a sense of fulfillment. You will know when you are done, and you will know whether you are exchanging your time well, or you are just moving with the wind of time. If you read Joel chapter 2, I want us to read Joel chapter 2. There's this army that was talked about in that place. Joel 2, verse 8. Joel 2, verse 8. Let's look at this army that understand their assignment. Yes, Joel 2, uh, let's say 7 and 8. Joel chapter 2, 7 and 8. Who is here with me?
Joel chapter 2, verses 7 and 8.
Yes, sir.
Like warriors, they charge. Like soldiers, they scale the wall. They march each on his way. They
Hello,
do not
sir.
swerve from their
Hello,
path.
sir. Yeah, she said, like soldiers, they did what?
They charge.
Yes, each of them.
So, yes, sir.
Yes,
March
read
in
it
his
again.
own way.
Each of them
Say, like
is
warriors,
like warriors. Yes,
they charge.
yes,
Like soldiers, they scale
like
the wall.
like soldiers, they scale the wall. Yes.
They march each on his way.
I want you to underline that. They march. How, sir?
Each on his way.
Each of them on what? On his way.
His
There's a
way.
way, sir. There's a path assigned for you. There's a task. And that is when they march. There's no competition in the journey of purpose and life assignment. There's no rivalry in the journey of purpose and life assignment. It is each, sir. Each of them has a part that is marked out for them, like warriors, they charge. Each of them marching on his way. Yes, read the last phrase. And they don't do what? Let me finish that verse as I begin to wrap up tonight. Can you hear me?
Okay, sir.
Let
They
me
do not
finish that.
swerve from their paths.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Look at it. It said,
They
they
do
shall
not
run like
jostle one
mighty men.
another.
Oh, yes. Let me read it here. They
Yes,
shall
sir.
run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march, each one on his way. And they shall not break their rank. Neither shall one trust another. They all this yegbe thing that we are doing, all this competition, that all this envy, all this backbiting, all these things that you see people do to pull one another down, it actually is those who have not actually caught the vision of their life assignment, and they are not actually walking in the path that God has mapped out for them. He said, neither shall one trust another. They shall walk everyone in his path. Friends, you need to tarry in the place of prayer to deliver this map of your life journey. The task that he will want you to do. And then we will talk about our competency in our circular work. That one is because that one has limit. That one, there will be a time they will ask you to go home that they no longer need it. So you can't build your entire life around that thing. You cannot just be doing circular work for exchange of money. And at 35 years, they say you should go home. We no longer need you here. And you didn't do the real work that your heavenly Father has assigned for you. Many of us take time to prepare for all these things, this chop thing, just to do, but you miss the bigger picture. And I don't want you to miss your identity. I don't want you to miss your peace of mind. I don't want you to miss your joy at the end of it, that you will look back and say, thank God that I didn't miss this part. So tonight, as I begin to wrap up, is that one key takeaway is that God assigned work. We saw it in Genesis, we saw it in Colossians. God assigned work, sir. And it is expedient, it is important that young man should take delivery of their life map. And how you navigate whatever you do with the other things and other employment that we wake up 9 to 6 and all of the things we do to eat food and buy car and all of those things, those ones are just secondary. We will talk about that one. But the focus, the foundation tonight is that Lord, put me on my own path. Give me that portion that you have assigned even before you were born, before you were named. There's something that God has in mind that you will do. There's a task that you will do for him in this life. And it is important that you have that sense of understanding and begin to build towards that time. I will talk much about how we should go about our work in terms of integrity, in terms of being skillful on the job, in terms of being diligent, and all of that. I will still talk about those ones tomorrow. But the very first thing is that you need to, how you should be prepared for the work. I'll talk about that one tomorrow. But tonight, we must lay a very solid foundation. I didn't want it to be that you are pursuing rice and beans and pay rice. And that's what you call work. No, sir. I didn't want it to be that all that consume your life is what you will exchange for rice and beans. Because that's not where the happiness actually lies in. The real work, the real employer is God, and He has something in mind. There's a direction He wants you to walk. There's a path that He has carved out for you. There are people that you are sent to. There's a solution that is on your shoulder. And you must be able to get this thing clear. The earlier, the better. I wish you get it at 10, in this young age, so that you will be stable, so that you will be happy, so that, there's this, I don't know, unquenchable joy. I am happy, my brothers. Like, this life is sweet. It's not about money. I don't even have shishi. But honestly, this every day I wake up, I'm like, how did I even get it right like this? Because I look around, I see what people are, laboring on, rice and beans, build house, and all, and then you lose the key direction for your life. I want to stop at this point, but I want us to pray this prayer within the next 2 minutes, if there is any time for question and answer, because it's a matter of urgency that you lay this foundation tonight. It's a matter of importance that you take delivery of your life map. This thing controls everything. This thing gives you, it's more like a compass. It will tell you when you are done on a particular task. It will tell you when you need to go for another task. It will tell you when you need to change direction. This thing becomes your kind of a compass. This thing is upon which your satisfaction, your joy, your fulfillment, and your reward is hanging on this when you are able to finish and finish well. I want you to pray. If you have not, this is the time to pray this prayer. Lord, what will you have me do? What will you have me do, oh God? Show me the task that you have assigned for my life. Show me the direction you wanted me to go. That thing that you had from before the inception of the world. You are not just here by mistake. There's something in the mind of God that He wanted you and I to do. Don't forget, each of these army walk on their paths. They don't trust each other because each of them is walking in his way. There's a path to which you need to walk, sir. There's a task that is so unique to you. You must take delivery of it first, because it is therein that your life fulfillment is. Lord, we're praying tonight, and I pray for all of my brothers on this call tonight. We know that what you have for us is more than rice and beans. We know that it is more. It is more than building house. It is more than buying cars. It's more than pursuing pay rise. That's not work. We know that what you plan for us, what you have in stock for us, is bigger, is heavier. We don't want to live a frustrated life. We don't want to live a useless, a wasted life. And that's why we are crying to you. We're begging you tonight that you will intune our spirit. You will incline our heart. You will help us to take delivery of that which you have in store for our lives. And that tonight we'll begin to deal with the issues of this identity with all matter of urgency, so that our joy, dear hand, can be full. Thank you, because I know you have started this great work in our lives. For in Jesus' precious mighty name, we have prayed. Amen. That's the foundation I want to lay tonight. Tomorrow, I'll talk about how you need to prepare for this work. I'll talk about some of the, virtues, qualities, that make a young man excel in his work, but you must have a work in the first place. So this is what I want to share tonight. I'm open for question and interaction. Thank you. Over. Thank you, Jesus.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for sharing that powerful word with us. And I know that for everyone here, that has been a much needed word, all right, a much needed word to set us right, to set us in motion, and to bring clarity to our hearts. Without much ado, the floor is open for questions. If we have questions, you can unmute yourself and introduce yourself, ask your question. Um, and if you're not able to speak, you can put your questions in the chat box, all right, so that we can maximize this time of um, engagement, right? This time of engagement. Um, let me ask this question, even as the rest of us gather our thoughts together. Thanks so much, sir, for the word that you have written to us. I would like you to maybe share maybe some thoughts on the current, um, issues that young people face with respect to work. That is, I remember in my, I mean, maybe when I was in school and leaving school, um, the questions that we used to ask those days, were questions like, Lord, where would you, just like you were saying, what would you have us do? Where would you have us go? And we felt that we're going to be led, in wherever we went, and that was not by the Spirit of God. But lately, we have conversations, and then, seemingly, people have already made up their minds about certain issues. So you hear, people already will just tell you that, listen, I'm going to leave this country, or I'm going to do this, seemingly as a response, to maybe social matters or economic matters or a combination of issues. So I want to just speak a bit into that. How, as young men, in light of what you're saying, how, as young men, what is the proper approach for us as young men, as believers, in approaching these issues, even in light of the context that we have found ourselves in, sir? That would be what I would want to ask you to shed a bit of light on, sir.
Okay, so I'm trying to get the question right. So, because I heard you mention people want to leave the country, uh, probably in search of a greener pasture. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And
So,
yes, sir.
yeah, yeah, that's what I get it clear. Is it that why is that necessary, or what exactly? Uh,
So
uh,
the concern is when we have those interactions, they seem to not see the need to involve God in that decision making process.
okay, okay, yeah.
Yes, sir.
I think I understand those who I wish we can start by engaging on the purpose of probably finding or relocating to another place. And I'll share from my own personal experience. I was privileged to go to UK for my masters in 2013. And why did I travel to UK for my masters? The masters I went for then, there was no school in Nigeria that was offering that course at that time. I went for masters in cognitive neuroscience and neuroimaging. Now, so people may decide to travel, and so if you're not close to me, I met a colleague of mine last year, and he said, Pastor Gabriel, I thought you are the first person I thought will leave this country. He said, you are the first person in my set that I thought will leave this country. He said, why do you return? And if you're close to me, you will also realize that I'm not a fan of anything abroad. I'm not. Thank God I've been there, so you won't say maybe I've not lived there. You know, when people I say I've lived in UK for 1 year during my masters. I can go get the training and come and finish my task here. In fact, I've made some decisions that primarily tie me to my place of assignment. It's very, very important. It doesn't mean that others cannot find their life purpose and assignment elsewhere. But whether you are going or you are staying, the primary thing is that you are sure that you are working and doing, being. When it comes to work, there must be a place where you are tending and keeping for God. So I don't want us to have a bias for those who say, okay, I'm leaving the country. I would have loved us to ask them, okay, so why? Maybe we can understand the reason why they are traveling house. So I went outside for training. And I know the place of my building is here. Is here. I can't even leave. There's nothing abroad that is appealing to me. I can go there and get the keep capacity. But I know that God has commissioned a particular assignment for me in this place. I'm going nowhere. So it's very, very important for us. I won't blame these people. Probably they are just living a free life. Everybody move towards a place that we perceive is okay without having a genuine reason or purpose for going towards that direction. I work in the Federal Ministry of Health, for example. When I joined the ministry in my first 5 years, I had the opportunity to join some of the NGO. And if you know our work, the NGO pay better than any government. If you work for an NGO, your salary is far better than government staff. And here I am as a promising guy coming up. Some NGOs have seen me. I've seen two of them that will say, would you like to join us? I said, join UK. I said, no, I will be here. Because I know that the assignment I'm doing here, I know why I am here. When I am done with the what God asked me to do in this place, I will now know where to go to for my next journey. So there is no point of moving here and there. The primary thing is the purpose of moving. So it needs to be clear. Sometimes it could be to get more exposure or opportunity or training that will enhance your life assignment. But there's nothing abroad. There's nothing, they said we all feel that when it's abroad is better. No, it is when it's above. Abroad is not above. So some of us are here in the country and we are doing well in the assignments where God placed us. We are very comfortable. We are okay. And God has been faithful. I've had to send money to people that live abroad that need financial aid. I'm the one here in Nigeria. I'm the one sending money to somebody in abroad, in the so-called, I don't want to mention country. So it doesn't matter wherever you are. So, but the most important thing is, are you in the purpose of God for your life? Have you gotten the map? And then you can interpret your journey. You know why you are taking some decision. You know towards one hand. You know how you want to move. You know, and do you know something? If God is the one sending you on that journey, He has a way of putting everything together for you. So that's what I would say when people feel that, well, for their own life, they have to go outside the country. Oh, I wish you well. Just make sure that you are also in the journey of making life, doing your assignment in life. Look at our fathers of faith. Many of them are global citizens, but their base is here. They build from here and then to the world. You can have a global vision, but you start from where you are. If there's a need to change location, probably for best experience, or just make sure that you are in the will and purpose of God and move in that direction. So I don't have any issue with somebody going for another thing. As long as he's in the purpose of God, he's interpreting, he's on his own path. And so no one will lose its rank. So it's fine. It's either for or against, but make sure that the others are going in that direction. Does not mean you too should follow suit. That it works for Mr. Hay does not mean it will favor you as an individual. You need to pray and make sure that God is the one leading you in that particular direction. I don't know if this gives clarity a bit to the issue.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for that.
All
All
right, you're
right,
welcome.
bro,
Yes.
Ifedo to Bamishe, please go on and ask your question quickly. Bamishe, your hand is up. Were you trying to? Okay, it seems okay. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Bamishe. Go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my brother.
Good evening.
Thank you very much for this eyes opening. I'm very excited when I listen to your words. Yes, we aware that the world is a global stage. It's just like a part whereby individuals have to play their is a stage where individuals have to play their parts. But what my take home was the work that God is assigned, work is assigned by God,
Yes,
which
sir.
really baffled me. And you said the real employer is God. And
Yes, sir.
then what I want to ask, my question is, at what stage was a young man supposed to know his purpose and his direction in life? Because you make mention of Jesus Christ before he was born, John the Baptist before they were born, and most of the decision we make from childhood was done by our parents. So
Yes.
what's the role of the parent or the guardians for them to do the will of God for the child?
Yeah. Thank you very much. In fact, that cannot be overemphasized. And that's why, for some of us who may have a privilege of having a godly parent, I congratulate you. But if you don't, you must not be deficient in your own time. Parents actually play a very, very crucial role in helping their kids to determine the direction of God for their lives. That's why if we don't have a godly parent, we must be one in our own time. Just imagine, you remember the Zachariah experience when it's about the naming. And because the man wasn't talking. They want to call the boy another thing. The mother gave the notes. They said, no, this is the name. This is what we received on behalf of this son, and that's what he should be. For us, you mentioned at what age? Honestly, as an adult, the earlier the better. In fact, what used to pain me, I gave my life to Christ when I was 21 years old. And do you know something? At that time, it even pained me more. I said, I wish I had, become born again much earlier than that time. You know why? Because your journey would be faster in life. The mom, as a teenager, even look at it today. You see the havoc that teenagers are doing. You see a girl of 16, a boy of 15. They are not young to start living a wayward life. How much more if you see a young boy, for me, from 12, you begin to exhibit godly character. You can imagine the kind of children that I will raise. As my boy is growing, there will be a time I will be telling him this. I will be flushing it to his head. I will be watching him walk in this path. I will be telling him. So he's even at advantage. Of course, they must give. You see, salvation is the entering point. And if you read Ezekiel chapter 33, from that verse 33 to 30, he said, in the day that I shall have cleansed you from all your iniquity. Now look at that. He said, I will also cause you to dwell in the land. The moment you embrace salvation, you're ripe for you to start, getting this sense of direction. Look at Eli. When God was calling Samuel, and he was even young. He didn't even know the law. He was too young to understand the mystery of God for his life. What did the old prophet say? He said, you called me. He said, no, I didn't call you. Go and lie down. Go and lie down back. The young boy didn't even have a sense of direction, but God was much in a hurry. God was much in a hurry to set him up when he noticed all this calamity that was happening. The boy didn't even know what it is. He was going back to the prophet. I said, you called me. When the man of God realized that, oh no, it's God that is already speaking to this, said, when he said, lie down there, I said, speak up as it is. So if you ask me for the entry point, the moment you are able to bring your child to salvation, that's the best time for them to start realizing that they are not just a mistake. They are not just a mistake, sir. So salvation is the entry point. And there's no particular age. You can start as a teenage. You can grow into it. But by the time you are getting to 16, 17, but most of the children now enter university at the age of 16. Many people, I know a guy that finished his MBBS at the age of 21. At 21 is already a doctor. That person now will be having dreams and how he wants to grow in life. So the entry age is the age at which a child is saved. It can take decision of salvation and live on without requirement. And then you begin to grow through it. And then you begin to submit yourself to the teachings of God before you take even a discipline. Many of what some of us think our job is our work. This thing, you read medicine and so you're a doctor. Well, which doctor are you? Are you the only doctor? Some of us think once I'm reading engineering, that's my work. I'm an engineer. No, it's more than that, sir. It's more than that. Because how will your own engineering be different from the other person? There's a particular part. The truth is, many people are not living their life honestly. Many people are not living lives. They are just existing. They just do normal routine. Bring. Okay, this one there. Oh, that one there. That one there. Hardly do I mean, it's and that's why I really appreciate this burden. There's something I need to do tonight. If it is by my calendar, I shouldn't be in this prayer meeting tonight. There's something that is hanging. But when I saw this thing, I said, no, whatever the sacrifice may be, this thing, I must appear on this meeting. Many people, even I have met, I have seen, are just living, I'm floating in life. No assignment, nothing. It's just exchanging time for food. And when you do it for 35, 34 years, nothing more. Nothing more. So the earlier, the better. So I put it to you this way. What is the purpose of knife, cutlass, and a blade? Anyone? Are you with me?
Yes, to cut or to
Yes,
sharpen.
sir.
No, to cut.
Cut,
All
sir.
of them is to cut. But can you use blade to cut tree? The design is different. The design is different. There's purpose, there's design. And that's why you must start early. Yes, all this thing is to cut. Scissors is to cut. Blade is to cut. Knife is to cut. Cutlass is to cut. But their design determine their effectiveness and what they can do. So when you even come to that thing, you also need to understand the concept of your design. And that's why maybe tomorrow I will build on this more of your uniqueness. We're all children of God, called to his purpose. Of course, God has something to do for your life. Yes. But what is your design? And how does that play in your uniqueness? The earlier you understand it, the more you train yourself more, the more you will be happy. On me, I'm happy, oh, my brother. That's even one thing. Every day I sit down here, I drink my water, I am happy. In my heart of hearts, I am happy. It's like I'm not leaving anything behind. Every day. I see it, I say, thank God. This life have meaning, baje, God. Why? If sometimes in my quiet life, I say, how was I this lucky to have discovered this part? Because you look around you, it's like everybody's just doing book, back. No, not anything goes. Everything for no. If they call like this, they move like that. If they move like this, there's no sense of direction. Nothing. No anchor. They no, sir. No, sir. And that's why I'm happy that we are considering this early enough. I don't know your age or at what point you are in your journey, but please and please, beyond rice and beans, cars and houses, there is something. There's this so unique. There's something that God, how will your work glorify God? How will we reward you at the end? For what, sir? That you do rice and beans and you do house, they say you should go, you have made name for yourself. Yes, you will make name for yourself as an engineer, but beyond putting blocks over each other, what is the meaning of that thing? Oh, we build bridge and we are the one that constructed the stadium. That one will just give you rice and beans, sir. Beyond that one, how then what is the meaning? how does the employer benefited from this one that he puts you in that place and you are there tending? How does that glorify him? I mean, how will he reward you? You need to have that sense of direction. So entrance is at salvation. There's no particular age for me. The earlier, the better, because it gives you more time not to waste your time. If your whole body is full of light, it's just single, just focus. The earlier, the better, and that will be for you. I'm one of the most happiest civil servants you can find around here. The little work I am doing there, yeah, it makes sense. I'm happy. I'm just there, my brother. Yeah, and yet you're building up, striving to become more, to fulfill all that God has assigned for me. And it can happen for anyone when we follow that path carefully. I don't want to belabor this. I know it's 10 o'clock, and we might want to have one or two things. So can we take the last question? And we'll continue from here tomorrow, where I will talk about the training, especially as it involves your design, and then some of the attributes of diligence, hard work, integrity, and and stuff like that. That's what we'll consider tomorrow. Yes. Any last question?
All right, thank you so much, sir. Yes, can we have the last question? Did someone type anything in the chat box? Let me check. Okay, sir. Just to take the last question, I wanted to ask also the to share your thoughts on the concept of secular work and sacred work. People say, "Oh, this is this is secular, right? And this is what we do for money. This is what we do for that. Okay, and this is not where we bring our feet into. There is other work we do. That's now the sacred one. That's the one that we involve God and all of that. Just to see if you just shed a bit of light on how that idea, that division of or segregation of work, and what it ought to be like for us.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Okay,
so
sorry. I thought you heard me.
yeah, just to clarify, I heard secular, I heard sacred.
Yes, sir.
So what do you want me to
That
say about it too? Is it to
Yes, sir. So there's this general notion of that division
okay?
between the work that we yes, sir.
Mm. So you will realize from the Colossians that we read that there's no division actually. From that place that we read in Colossians 3, the Bible says what? What so what?
Whatever you do, sir.
Whatsoever. Whatsoever. Whether in secular, whether in sacred, whether in life beyond, I don't even know the existence. That place says whatsoever you do. Can you read that place again? I'm trying to hear. That's Colossians chapter 3, verse 23. Can we read that place? But I'll
Yes,
tell
sir.
you, yeah, can you read that place? Colossians 3:23.
Yes, sir. It says, and whatsoever ye do it
Whatsoever
heartily
you do it heartily.
as to the Lord
Uh-huh.
and not unto men.
So our secular work we feel is for men, Abi.
Yes, sir.
Our sacred work we feel is for who?
The Lord.
It's for God. But here we were encouraged to say, whatsoever we do it as unto the Lord. Now, there are attitudes. This thing has an implication, and I understand what you mean by secular, and then what we do probably in my office and then in church. I may be a gate man in my secular work, and then I'm a Sunday school teacher in my church. That Sunday school teacher as a worker in church, that one is for the Lord. But the gate man in the Echo Bank that one is for the Echo Bank. But you see, the work, and that's what I will speak so much about tomorrow, is the same person. The concept that makes work acceptable before God in your sacred life. In sacred life, we were told not to be an hypocrite. Don't do eye service. I don't know whether you get what I'm trying to say. Don't do eye service. In your sacred work, you were told of this integrity, serving the Lord with your whole heart. Does that mean if we get to the secular work, we should be doing eye service? We should not be committed to the work we are doing in the secular work. You will see that it's the same person. And that's why the mission must align together. It's the same person. It's just that you play different role in different places. When I go to my work as a publicate at Federal Ministry of Health, the same attitude that I bring from the home, the church. So if I'm at my work, whether church or in my secular, I'm not expected to cheat anybody in that place. I'm not expected to take what does not belong to me in that place. I can't be duping in my secular and say I'm being righteous in my sacred life. That's a double life. In fact, it's even more that your sacred quality, whatever makes that work sacred, godly, is even why they want it more in the secular, because that's where you will shine the light. It says you are the light where?
Of the world, sir.
Of the world, sir. Of the world. Is all this embodiment of godliness, of hard work, of inspiration, of divine endowment. If all of this sacred thing is about what you do in church and they can't see it in your secular life, you are for me a bastard completely. That your life must go into that place and they begin to say, this. In fact, that's how best to introduce God to to our world. That when they talk about excellence, where did you learn it from? You learned it from your sacred life, that his work is perfect and all his ways are just. That's our God. That's the one you relate with, his character imbibe in you. And then you get to the sacred, to your marketing job, and you begin to cut the organization down. Bro, that's a misrepresentation. If there is any way the sacredness of our life is, in fact, the skill. We'll talk about two leg. You can only work with two leg, your competence and your character. The issue of competency can be learned. You can acquire any skill. You go for training, you become a chartered accountant, but that does not impart character. I was talking to my wife early today,
I wanted to hand over a particular job to somebody. I have two people I'm considering to hand over to in my circular work. And I was telling her, I said, this guy is very good, oh. This guy is very good, oh, but I don't trust him. He lack integrity, can be dubious, he can change figure, but he's very good, very good. I said, this other person, I can guarantee it's not as good as this other one, but I know that it's trustworthy. And for me, if they ask me to choose, do I love the capacity? This one is so good and bright that but when there's a character issue, I'm not comfortable to hand over that job to the person. The much of our character life formation is our relationship with God, which need to shine brighter in a crooked and perverse world. So the take home is that there's no division. Let me just say that. He said, whatsoever. That's what the word of God said. Whatsoever you do. Thank God he didn't leave us in confusion. No. He said, do it as unto the Lord, not as men. He makes sure that he mentioned men in that passage too. So that you know that you are a priest every and anywhere, and your light must shine. As you are here, you gather around the vision. Every organization has a vision. Before you take up their role, you must be there as a vision. Why do you think a believer cannot run a beer parlor as a business? Oh, yeah. Why should a believer not be comfortable to run a beer parlor as a business?
Yes, sir. It is not consistent with the kingdom he serves, sir.
Good. Let's say they are now paying 2 million. Will you say, well, this is a circular work? That means your growth, you have not reached a certain depth, sir. That you say, well, in this circular work, I was hearing about a lady. Somebody, okay, it was someone was telling me about a lady. There's a lady in my church. Hey, this auntie suffered. This auntie. So somebody was telling, he's now doing well now. He went for catering and he's doing well. But somebody was telling me about where he resigned from. He said at some point he picked a job in an hotel as a receptionist. He said, before you know it, when people come, they are now she's exposed to all these advances. He said, when I noticed that this thing is getting out of hand, it doesn't align with purpose and my representation. She had to let go, but that lady suffered. After she left that place, that auntie suffered but thank God for all those trying moments, she's picking up again now. So that's why everything matters to you. Everything matters. Before you join an organization, you want to be sure. You want to be sure. All of this is the fact that you know that, oh, this. You may even join to say, okay, I'm acquiring. I wish I have the time to tell you how I have navigated my own life in the last 15 years of my active work. Moving from one, making decision, do this and that. And then I sit today, I said, I'm a very happy person. So you are lying. You know what God asks you to do. You know when we don't do this. You don't, there are. I'm not so I join a church. Let me tell you something. I joined a church, and this is the sixth time that they are asking me to come and pick ordination. And I have to tell them without any remorse that, sir, I am not called for this, sir. And they see me as everything that represents anything they want. And they say, oh, yeah, pick ordination for you have to be ordained here as a day. I said, no, sir. No, sir. If I cannot just serve God by just come here and be the brother Gabriel and just do my thing and go home, if it's more than this one, then it's not my thing, sir. It's not my thing. I've been resisting this for the past 7 years. Something that any other person is jumping at. And some will say, if you don't have this title, they will push you behind. You must have purpose, give stability and direction. So that they don't call you what you are not. They don't close. Some of you are talented. Once they see you, God is not sending you in that place. So because you can speak, you do. They say no sir, no sir, no sir, no sir. So the question is, what is the concept of there's no whatsoever new, whatsoever new, whatsoever new? Because you will give account of your life, both your time in circular work, what you do to your maker. He won't say, well, I separated this 35 years because you are not a responsible, accountable to me. You were there and fulfilling. Is that how God will judge us, my brother?
No, sir.
So that's why we need to be conscious about that. Thank you very much for your time. I think we'll meet again tomorrow.